Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru's journey for his beloved, Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest, by Sakura Arashi. Chapter 22. Reassured and confronting the Empire's soldiers. 42 was the number of rabbitmen traveling through the canyon. With such a big group traveling, all sorts of monsters tried attacking the group. Unfortunately for the monsters, with Hajime and Rimuru defending the group, attacking them would be nothing less than a death sentence. Flashes accompanied by gunshots along with silent swooshes could be heard and seen at night. In the morning when you looked around, corpses of monsters and such could be seen scattered and just lying on the ground. The reaction of the rabbitmen were as expected. They were all dumbfounded as they stare in awe at both Rimuru and Hajime with sparkling eyes. Fu, hey look Hajime, that little one is watching you, you should wave at her, Shay said. Shay, who for some reason started teasing Hajime, who right now is in a bad mood due to being constantly reminded of how far his difference in power was compared to Rimuru, started having veins popped and appear on Hajime's head. Silently Hajime pulled out Donner, then bang, bang, bang. Awa, Shay. With rubber bullets aimed at her foot, Hajime kept on shooting while Shay tried dodging it, which made her look like she was tap dancing. Ha, that's why you shouldn't tease Hajime, haha. Seeing this spectacle, Rimuru couldn't help but say such things while laughing. Close double angle bracket seal. By the way, how's the cardinal world? Open double angle bracket, it's fine master. The black number, which numbers to 10,000 archdemons, is protecting it. In total over the years, there have been 6 attempts in taking over the cardinal worlds. The attackers were destroyed with no mercy by Diablo and the other primordials along with the other black numbers. Close double angle bracket. I see. Thanks for the report. Seal. Open double angle bracket, no problem master. Close double angle bracket. Truly taking a break and just enjoying things like this is the best, ha, Rimuru thought. At the same time, Cam, Shay's father, looked at this with a wry smile while Yu looked in amazement. So Shay and Hajime Dono has that kind of relationship. Even though her daughter was being shot at, he viewed it as if celebrating his daughter's departure, as in marriage, with tear forming in the corner of his eyes. Amusingly so, the other tribe members looked at it the same way. Unbelievable. You mutter. Ha, this just makes it so much funnier, Rimuru said. After that amusing spectacle, they began moving again. After walking for a long time, they finally arrived at the entrance of Raisin Grand Canyon. In front of them were finely built staircase as far as Hajime's far sight can see. The stairs was built by cutting along the wall, and it was the type that make an U-turn every 50 meters. The sea of trees was just half a day away from the exit of the Raisin Grand Canyon. While Rimuru watched Hajime as he tries to look at the distance, Shay started talking with uneasiness in her voice. See, could there be any more of those Empire soldiers? Shay said, stuttering for some reason. I am not sure. There's a possibility that they've all been annihilated by the monster here, though that of course is just a possibility. Rimuru answered. Then suppose there are Empire soldiers, what would you do? Shay fearfully asked, scared of the answer. What do you mean about that question? Hajime said. Hajime tilted his head because he can't understand the question asked by Shay, while on the other hand Rimuru totally understand the purpose of this question, but he decided to let Hajime take care of it. Well, you see, unlike demonic beast, Empire soldiers are humans, the same race as you, Shay explained. Shay, haven't you already seen the future? Why yes, I have. I saw Hajime confronting the Empire soldiers. Well, I don't know where Rimuru is. Shay can't see Rimuru, since Rimuru's skill is blocking future prediction, fate or destiny. Then there shouldn't be any problem, right? Though I don't know why you couldn't see my brother. I am confident it's not because he won't fight against people, since he's a heartless monster against his enemies. So what's the problem? Yes, I am a heartless monster. But that's because my heart was taken away by Shizu, who never returned it. Till this day, I am still searching of it. Rimuru sadly thought. It's just that, I want to confirm it. To protect us, Rabbitman tribe from the Empire's soldiers and confront the human race. Are you really okay? fighting against humans? Having heard Shay's word, the surrounding Rabbitman tribe nervously started looking at Hajime. The children who can't understand what's happening but guessing the serious atmosphere started to alternately look between the adult tribe members and Hajime restlessly. However, in such a serious atmosphere, Hajime casually said, "What's wrong with that? Like I said, there's no problem with me. I may not look like it, but I am pretty sure I am no longer human. Plus, even if I were still human, I wouldn't hesitate to kill. But still, you used to be human, so are you sure? Didn't your tribe get chased by demi-humans as well? Well, even if you put it that way. Just trust Hajime and me on this, we won't abandon your tribe. Me made a deal after all, just have faith in us," Rimuru said. "Oh, okay then, I'll believe in you guys." Though Shay had already seen Hajime confronting the Empire, the future isn't absolute or inevitable, thus the future can change. One of the future that Shay saw was a future where they become slave under the Empire while living a life more painful than death. Because of this, Shay wanted to ask them. Ha, I understand. We promise to keep our end of the bargain and guide you through Sea of Trees," Cam, Shay's father, said while cheerfully laughing. After confirming with Hajime and Rimuru, they continued moving forward. When their group reached the stairs, both Hajime and Rimuru went ahead to scout for potential enemies. Usually, Rimuru wouldn't need to do such things, as he is well aware of everything happening around him. Exact details like a bird flying towards a tree, thousands of miles away, he would know. This time is different. He wanted to enjoy this time, so he told Seal to turn off Universal Detect as well as no spoilers of any at all kind. With this, Rimuru is currently blind and would be possible to ambush. He was confident enough at defending everyone from an ambush without anyone falling in battle. With this, he didn't mind turning off Universal Detect. Though if someone were to fall in battle, which, with Rimuru there impossible, Rimuru would blame himself and suffer from such a loss. Now that he's human again, he would feel the guilt of his arrogance. After climbing the stairs, they've finally reached the exit of the Raisin Grand Canyon with the sunlight high above them. They reached the exit of the canyon at noontime. When they looked over the cliff, what they saw was, "Ho, look at that, there's still a bunch of survivors. Though I was reluctantly following orders, this means I can bring home a bunch of good souvenirs," a random soldier said with a cocky tone along with a disgusting smile. There are around 30 Empire soldiers below Hajime and Rimuru's group. Behind the enemy soldiers were a lot of wagons, carriages where marks of camp remained to be seen. The soldiers, who dressed in khaki-like uniform and equipped with a sword or spear and a shield, looked surprised at Hajime's group. However, that surprised look only lasted for 1 second. Immediately after, the soldiers started to smile as they were delighted to see the Rabbitman tribe. "Platoon leader. The light blue-haired rabbit-eared girl has come. Isn't she the only one the commander want? Ooh, it looks like our luck has finally turned around after waiting for so long," another random soldier said. "I agree. We can kill all the old ones," another random soldier said. "Hey platoon leader, we can take the young beautiful girls for ours elfas, right?" another random soldier said. "Geez. Don't take all of them, you can only take 2 number 3 girls. Hi-ho, as expected of platoon leader, you really can understand us." For the Empire soldiers, the Rabbitman tribe can only be seen as easy prey. They started approaching the Rabbitman group while licking their lips looking at the female Rabbitmans. Seeing those soldiers, the Rabbitman tribe can do nothing but tremble in fright. Seeing the Empire soldiers approach, Rimuru looked at Hajime and said, "Hey Hajime, would you mind letting me take care of them?" "Huh? Why? That's not like you at all." True, normally Rimuru would fight enemies as a team, coordinating both Hajime and you. But this time he didn't want to fight as a team. In fact, he wanted to single-handedly kill every single one of the Empire's soldier. Hearing the soldiers talk about those things like taking the girls as their slaves and more reminded Rimuru of a certain incident. Though thousands of years had passed, he can't forget the events of the Falmouth attack. It's like a nightmare that haunts him. The Falmouth attack I am talking about is not the original but one of an alternate timeline where he tried saving Shizu. In this attempt, Shizu died in the attack of the Falmouth Kingdom. Not only Shizu but the whole nation of Tempest itself got wiped, houses burning like a scene from hell, bodies everywhere lying on the ground. The sight looked something straight out of a nightmare. But this is indeed what happened in one of Rimuru's attempt to save her. What made it worse was he heard soldiers talking about how they plundered loot from the monsters' houses, how they took beautiful hobgoblin and such to sell them or use them. They were talking about such things with a proud expression and laughing loudly. Rimuru lost himself at the sight of things and went on a rampage, completely destroying the timeline along with everything in it. He would have destroyed the other timeline and realities had he not been stopped by Chloe. She managed to calm him down and return him to his senses with Ciel's help. After this event it took him a few years to move on from this, but even after so it still haunts him, or at least the lingering thought of his failure as a lover and as a king. "Sorry Hajime, this is something I have to do," Rimuru replied. Hajime looked Rimuru in the eyes confused and said, "Look, if this is about you not wanting me to kill humans then. No, don't misunderstand me. It's not that I am doing this to keep your hands clean, okay?" He said. Then he looked over the Empire soldiers and continued, "This is really just something I have to do, it's personal. One of the things that Rimuru hates is people who has no conscience, who's taking pleasure in killing and enslaving other people. And because this scene reminded him of his failure in Falmouth, he will kill everyone to at least kind of redeem himself, though this is petty. To Rimuru this is something he has to do." Hajime looked at Rimuru, who's looking at the Empire soldiers, and gave out a sigh before saying, "Alright brother, I'll leave this to you. I wonder why he wants to deal with the Empire soldiers himself. He says it's personal, but why is it personal? It doesn't make sense, at least not yet." Hajime's thought, "Thanks brother." Rimuru replied as his masks materialize and covers his face. "I haven't seen him use that mask in battle yet. I remember showing it to us back before I fell, but never did he use it in battle. This is a first," Hajime thought. The man called platoon leader has finally noticed both Rimuru and Hajime standing in front of the Rabbitman. Who are you? You don't look like Rabbitman." To his question Rimuru didn't reply and instead raised his left arm towards the platoon captain. "What do you think you're doing?" the platoon captain said, alarmed in seeing Rimuru raise his arm out. Suddenly a barrier appeared covering the entire area. It was an anti-magic barrier. This pretty much made magic impossible inside. Only Rimuru can cast magic inside the barrier. Hajime's thought, what is this? This is... no way. An anti-magic barrier? You said in surprise. Even I wouldn't be able to cast magic here. How does this even work? Hajime said. Oh, what is this? Men defensive positions now, the platoon leader ordered. As expected of the Empire's soldier, they immediately went into defensive position. The front raised their shields up while the rear started chanting defensive magic. "Captain, our chant and magic isn't working," a mage said. "Shit, this isn't good. Prepare for the enemy attack," the platoon leader said. Then out of nowhere dozens of water droplets appeared all around them. Up above them was a giant thin puddle of water that was acting like a magnifying glass. Suddenly streaks of light started coming out of the little droplets, piercing anything that it meets. Like a deadly light show, one by one the Empire soldiers fell, each having a tiny hole in the front and back of their head pierced by the laser. For the soldiers nothing was making sense, but what was really happening was Rimuru used spirit magic to create small water droplets shaped by water elementals to create lenses that focus light into laser beams that are deadly to even Hajime at his current stret. Smaller water droplets are then used as mirrors to redirect the lasers toward the targets. This was indeed what Rimuru had used back in the original Falmouth invasion. Megiddo, eventually the last Empire soldier fell down to the ground and not a single one was left. This was Rimuru's anger towards people such as them. No blood could be seen as the laser heated the blood, preventing it from spilling the Rabbitman, and even Hajime was dumbfounded by this. Rimuru's mask slowly disappeared as he turns around. His expression, now back to normal, signaled the end of the spectacle.